Good evening, all Atmas. Under Atma Siddhi Yoga, we have seen the very important session on Atma Siddhi Samadhi Dhyan, whereby the Jivatma, how it has to merge with Paramatma. That is the objective of this Samadhi. Samadhi means what? Jivatma merging into Paramatma. How it happens? Only by practice of spiritual sadhana. And how it has to be done is being explained through the session where the buddhi, the inner layer of the buddhi, merges into Atma, Atma Jyoti, and this Atma Jyoti, inside the Atma Jyoti we are seeing the Atma Jyoti Lingam. So the Atma Jyoti merges into the Atma Lingam. This Atma Lingam continues to go deep in the ocean of Supreme Conscious State. To attain Supreme Conscious State is not so easy. He is very far off. So much depth. He is at an infinite depth. To reach him, we have to do a lot of spiritual sadhana, and this should be of a continuous nature. So from this second, I told you, it should be continuously, you have to see that your Atma Lingam continuously go into the infinite state of, in-depth state of Paramatma conscious state, Samadhi state. The more you go deep inside, the buddhi being dragged deep in inner buddhi along with Atma being dragged deep inside. The outer buddhi, when you are doing this karma yoga, as a karma yogi, while doing fulfilling, it will enable us to fulfill all the duties with the outer buddhi always remaining in the divine conscious level, cleansing all the negativities in the subconscious mind, which is the cause for our various negative traits. All this getting cleansed, completely cleansed, till it goes backwards. The more the Atma Lingam goes deep into the ocean of divine state of Samadhi state, the more the outer buddhi layer goes into the subconscious mind to the backwards of several life cycles till we came to the starting point of where we have severed from the Paramatma. We go to the starting point of severed from the Paramatma, and that stage comes when we attain that stage, the Jivatma reach the end point of the Samadhi state of Paramatma. These two are the opposite directions. So if you go deep inside, this goes deep toward the starting point, this goes to the end point. This is the power of this Samadhi Dhyan. So one has to practice continuously, because since in the subconscious mind, in several life cycles, we have accumulated a lot of negative aberrations which we ourselves do not know. So sometime back I told, in 7 life cycles back, the water phobia that has created by falling into the water, that has now led to the brain tumor after 7 life cycles. This is 7 is minimum. We have gone through several life cycles in our previous birth in the same human form, and also in various evolutions in the animal form also. In the animal form, one of the important experience that gets stored is the fear of death. So every animal dies at the hands of its predator. So it is always having the fear of death. So that fear of death is more pronounced in our subconscious mind. That is the cause for always our insecurity that prevails in human being. This insecurity is the cause for the diabetes. So this fear of death should go. That accumulation of negative energy is mainly because of that has to be removed. And all this, and fear of insecurity is cause for various other rajasic gunas like jealousy, hatredness, vengeance attitude, all these things. Because for your survival, if somebody is, you feel that they are acting as a hindrance, you try to pull their legs, you try to eradicate them. That is the attitude of rajasic gunas, the animal instinct, which is prevailing in us. That is because of our past experiences stored in the subconscious mind. The more you take the Atmalingam deep inside the divine state, the more this kind of animal instinct gets slowly erased in us. This will erase our negative habits of drinking, smoking. It will take the mind to have only the sattvic food, sattvic way of living, austerity way of living. All these things one get imbibed because they lose interest on external worldly attractions, though they are moving in it. That is the power of this. It will keep your mind in the Sthita Prajna stage. But despite that, once during this practice of spiritual sadhana, since you have to do your karmas outside, whatever event that comes in front of you, when you are about to face, this past negative vasanas continues to take you to the state of ignorance. That's why when you are facing any event, first thing, to have a perfect discriminative understanding of the cause for that event, because we don't know what type of event comes at what stage. But we have to be always cautious, because that event may create negative impressions in our subconscious mind. That event may create tension, that event may create dejection, that event may create fear, that event may create anger, all these things. Because this happens without our knowledge, because at every stage when we face the event, the first thing that comes out before our senses is our ego. So, the ego, when it comes, it immediately creates anger, dejection, sorrow, vengeance attitude, jealousy, all these things. So, what we have to bring before us, we have to always awaken our antaratma, and we see that this antaratma always comes before the senses. The senses should be the antaratma should come before the senses. When the external event is seen by the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, or anything, by the physical body in the Annamaya Kosa, the energies which perceived by the senses, between the Pranamaya Kosa and the Manomaya Kosa in the senses, in between that, the antaratma should be brought. What this antaratma should do is, when you face the event, it should say what this event is going to create. Suppose that event is going to create anger in you, this antaratma, if you keep before the senses, it guides you. Oh, this event is going to create expectation in you. This event create anger in you. This event going to create a tension in you. This event going to create a jealousy in you. So the antaratma creates say to the buddhi, beware, it is going to create. Because buddhi, while doing this discriminate intelligence, it is always being carried by the ego. Because ego is the front portion. Always ego comes first. So that only takes the discriminate intelligence to think with expectations, which is the cause for creating anger, tension, all these things. So, as long as the negative aberrations continue to remain in our subconscious mind, it only awakens the buddhi to remain the ego consciousness. So we have to, that's the reason why this, the necessity for doing this, the Atma-Siddhi Samadhi Dhyana is very essential, because the more you go deep inside, the more the negative aberrations in the subconscious mind get slowly eradicated, slowly gets cleansed and get flattened. That makes you to keep your buddhi in the divine conscious state, where the antaratma comes before the senses, and it guides. If some negative event comes, it shows, oh, this is release of my negative karma. Let me not get attached. See, in Ramayana, when Kaikeyi says, Kaikeyi has got lot of love and affection towards Rama, because she only brought up Rama right from, because though Rama was son of Kausalya, Kaikeyi was more attached to Rama. She has brought him up. She poured all love and affection to Rama more than his son Bharata. But when this Guni tells not to make Rama as king, only his son to become Bharata should become king. At that time, she was carried away by the words of Guni. Immediately she calls Dasaratha and tells Rama should be sent to Vanavas. He should not be made king. When Rama heard the Pattabhishekam was about to happen, the mindset of Rama and Dasharatha we have to observe. When Kaikeyi asked this boon, Dasharatha was totally shattered because he has so love and affection towards Rama. He also knows Kaikeyi has got a lot of love and affection to Rama. But why Kaikeyi is behaving like this? Why she has made a... He was totally disturbed, totally shocked. He could not overcome this delusion and dejections in him because he has to fulfill the boon which he has promised to Kaikeyi. And why Kaikeyi is now going against Rama and asking him to send him to forest? He was unable, he was flabbergasted, he could not understand. But to fulfill the boon, Dasharatha comes and tells Rama, you have to go to Vanavas. Rama immediately accepted, okay, father. He didn't say anything because that is the divine conscious state. So Rama was in the divine conscious state. He knows very well, he has respect his father, he has respect his mother. Whatever wish, he has to fulfill it. So immediately, in a calm, peaceful mind, he accepts because he has kept his Antaratma in front of him and realized that this is the path for me to release my karmas. I have to obey my father's instruction and follow it. Because I have no attachment to anything. In this second, this is the instruction God has given for release of my karma. Let me fulfill it. So with that vision, he has gone. So that is the divine consciousness which one should imbibe in us. That happens. We are all not like divine Rama, but we have the divinity in us. That can be awakened only by practice of this Atma Siddhi Samadhi Dhyan. We have to go deep inside, deep inside, deep inside. The more we go deep inside, the more our subconscious mind negativity gets cleansed. And more the divinity we imbibe in the outer buddhi consciousness that guides us to carry on our duties without attachment. And always we keep Antaratma at each and every event when we face, we keep our Antaratma, not the ego. Because as long as we continue to remain ignorant, our ego only comes before the senses and it only awakens in us the anger, ego, jealousy, hatredness, all these things. When you see a person, immediately you remember his past, what negative things he had done to you. Immediately you get anger. You ask him, immediately when you saw your BP shoots up. When even you hear his name, your BP shoots up. Because always his negative, what he has done, he has been stored in subconscious mind. By the spell of his name, from the subconscious mind, that even immediately comes back to the conscious mind and increases the BP to level. Because that is mainly because of ego. So one has to overcome ego, means one has to keep always awaken the Antaratma and keep before the senses. So that these negative aberrations of that particular event, what is stored by the practice of Samadhi Dhyan, that completely get erased and you will develop the habit of forgiveness and forgetfulness. Because he has created that event, you realize that is mainly the negative event is created only to release my negative karma. And the person who has created, we have to forgive him because he has the source for us to release our negative karma. That is the mindset one has to build by this spiritual emancipation. That happens only when the Antaratma is awakened and kept before the senses when we face the events in life. This is why the awakening of Antaratma is very much essential. But this will take automatically, provided we continuously do the spiritual sadhana of Atma Siddhi Samadhi Dhyan regularly. So one has to follow this Antaratma awakening. But despite doing this Antaratma awakening, we may, without our knowledge, get carried away by the event. That is mainly because the negative aberrations are still lying in our subconscious mind. That makes us. So, for instance, a lady was there, about 70 above. She was practicing the spiritual sadhana for several years. 40 to 50 years she has been practicing right from an early age. And she was absolutely in a state of Siddha Prajna at all times. So his disciples come and ask her, so you always remain calm, cool, collective, how it is possible? This is practiced by, one should practice spiritual sadhana for us. So at that time, our servant maid comes and asks, Maji, what food I have to do today? So he says, okay, you do on sabji, normal food, whatever you do. The girl goes off. Again, once you are talking to her, she comes again. Maji, can I do sambar or this kudu? You say, okay, you do kudu, okay. Again, we are talking. Again, that girl, that maid comes. Hey, can I make, what could I make? You do anything. Okay. Can I make butter gourd or this coarse good, cabbage good? You do cabbage good. Again she comes. Can I make sambar also? Okay. Then she come again. Maji, can I make drumstick sambar or pumpkin sambar? Make anything, some pumpkin sambar. And again she comes. Then what curry I have to make? So again and again when she comes and asks, she gets wild. She shouts at her. You do anything you want. Why you again troubling me? Well, sorry Maji, sorry I have created tension in you. Sorry. At that time the disciple asked, what is this, madam? You have been doing for 50 years. By this we got irritated by this your maid's. Then she realizes, because irrespective of how many years of spiritual sadhana you do, the events what you face at any particular moment, without your knowledge, the mind gets excited because of tension, anger, ego, everything comes. So we should always watch our mind by awakening this antaratma. But by mistake, if you commit this anger, jealousy, hatred, without your knowledge, when they even get dragged to commit this kind of mistakes, that shows at this stage, when you get this anger, at that time your antaratma has been overtook by the ego. So because you always, ego and antaratma, they play hide and seek, depending upon the event. So when the devil or divine, both are there inside us. So the more we go deep into the samadhi state, they take the Atma Lingam deep into samadhi state, the devil slowly gets dissolved and divine start promoting more. But thing is, this oscillating thing happens because if we are not doing this spiritual sadhana perfectly. So we have to see the devil or devil, both we have to watch. So we have to see that the devil does not arise in us, and we have to slowly cleanse it and remove it. That is not immediately possible. But by this devil presence, because of this ego, when the event carried away and we get anger, jealousy, hatredness, immediately after that excitation due to anger, jealousy, immediately you have to realize that mistake by the practice of Atma Vicharana. So one should regularly do Atma. Every second they should do Atma Vicharana. Every second they should keep Antaratma before the senses. But even despite that, the senses may be carried away by the ego. And that's why when the senses carried away by the ego and you commit mistake by of anger, jealousy, immediately you have to keep your Atma Vicharana you should do and awaken the Antaratma and see that and take a resolution that next time when you face the event, I should not get carried away by this event. And always I should keep my Antaratma in front and surrender to that. And always I have to keep my mind under restraint, not to get carried away by anger or jealousy. And this can happen only when you continuously do this spiritual sadhana of taking your buddhi, inner buddhi to the deep samadhi state. This should be continuing. This is the objective of doing this awakening of Antaratma and Atma Vicharana. These two very essential things which enables us to overcome creation of further karmas by us, when we are facing events in life. We should continuously release our karmas. We should not add new karmas to us. Only that happens if you awaken our Antaratma and do Atma Vicharana. These two things should be continuously done. Though while doing this spiritual sadhana of taking the buddhi into the deep samadhi state, which should continuously. So you have now dropped it. So you have started your practice. This is irreversible, because once you drop a stone from the hilltop, you cannot stop it. By gravitational pull, it comes to the bottom. Similarly, when you drop a stone in the ocean, the depth in the ocean, it continuously moves down, it cannot be stopped. Like that, now you have put this Atmalingam in the depth of the divine conscious state of samadhi state, and it is falling deep. Just allow it to do and visualize that it is falling, so that you continuously awaken yourself. So this is the power of Antaratma and Atma Vicharana. And finally, before we whatever we do, the final step is praying for selfless global healing. Because any prayer, if it is of selfish nature, it will not be, it will accumulate karma. So we should do selfless prayer. So every day in the morning when you get up, first thing you have to do is you have to visualize globe in front of you and rub your fingers and keep both the hands on both sides of the globe and visualize Agnya Chakra. From here you send the energy and do the prayer to Lord. Seeing there, make a prayer to him that, oh Lord, please bestow all divinity, all prosperity, and bring all peace, harmony, good health to this world, and people all the people in the world, all the living creatures should live with all prosperity, healthy, and let all the negativity in the globe be removed. Let all the negative virus be removed. So every day in the morning, this selfless prayer should be done for the well-being of the entire humanity and for the peace of the world. This accumulates a lot of positive karma. This is the sacrifice for the humanity which one should do by doing this selfless prayer. So with this, the entire process of Atma Siddhi Yoga completes. This first is, and this entire session will be finally made a review tomorrow, and final step is the selfless global healing. This one should practice, because when you say this, the energy flowing from these two hands and from your Agnya Chakra, and it will be supported by your prayer by the divinity, the fourth side. All sides, the positive energy will feed this globe with all positive energy that removes the negative energy and brings real peace in the world. Let us pray for this and conclude. Thank you.